Good morning. What's up? How are ya? Got myself a new little machine here. Let's go check it out. Now, here we have Diverge STR. Suspend the rider. If you've come looking for this video, you probably know this bike's been out for a little bit, and this is gonna be my take on the bike. I've watched all the tech videos, I've seen what they're talking about, I've seen their opinions, I've got some different opinions. So before we get too far into all the things I love about it, let's start with a couple of misconceptions on what it's not. It's definitely not a full suspension gravel bike. Yes, it does suspend the rider, but not full suspension. In fact, it's kind of opposite of full suspension because it only works when you're sitting down. Now, number two, let's talk about what it's also not. It's not heavy. This bike has, as I would normally race this bike, is just over 20 pounds. 20 pounds, 4 ounces. That's with pedals, that's with cages. When I was given the bike, it had a little bit different arrangement on it that was even lighter. It was 19 pounds, 4 ounces. Primarily, I want to highlight things that I have seen, I have recognized, and I've watched in other videos that I feel like really don't do the bike justice. You have to ride this bike for a brief few minutes to understand it and to see it and to feel it and get the difference that this video or any other video you're gonna watch doesn't quite do, but I really wanna try to help you get all that info without having to ride the bike. It's not a full suspension bike. It has a perception of being for a rider that rides really gnarly terrain, for guys that get super rowdy, start sending it down, you know, nasty stuff like that. But it's not. It's for riders who do short, long, but especially long. Folks that are going to be spending 4, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in the saddle are really going to benefit from this because the fatigue fighter out of the Future Shock, for one, is incredible. So to then have the STR equipped in the back only doubles the fatigue fighting factor. Now, I don't want to say comfort level because that really takes away the bike's speed aspect. I see it a lot in the shop, and folks, when we use one word, it polarizes the rest of the bike and it makes you think that it's not fast if I say it's comfortable. The bike is very comfortable. It's super noticeable, and you have to understand and you begin to picture who you begin to picture yourself riding the bike and how well it's going to help you on those long rides. I get beat up riding for 4+ hours. This thing's going to help me. I know you're going to get beat up for riding for 4+ hours. It's going to help you. So it's really for a lot of riders that ride gravel of varying levels. It doesn't have to be super gnar. All right, now on the racing side of things, I have the last couple years done a lot of the gravel thing, learned a lot about what I'm looking for in a bike, learned a lot about what I think most folks are looking for in the bike. My timeline. The Diverge comes out, first generation, incredible bike. Didn't ever ride a bike, I had never ridden a bike that performed the way it did, nor had the features that it did. So we're kind of put that first pin in the wall. Next generation Diverge comes out and loved it. Bike for me, from the first generation, got a little heavier, but got a little bit more features. We got Future Shock 2.0, swap box, you know, more robustness, bigger tire clearance. My race bike on that Diverge was right about 20-ish pounds, right? Between like high 19s to low 20s. I felt like I loved the way the bike rode. I had only ridden gravel bikes that were Future Shock equipped and didn't know how to compare and contrast. Enter in the new Crux, big tire capacity, right? Fast bike, super light. I got immediately hooked on the pickup factor of the bike and how light it was. Right in the showroom floor, in the garage, I pull it off the wall, and that bike's 17.5 pounds, right? So we're talking pounds lighter. But interestingly enough, I did the same events on Diverge 2 the year prior. I did them the next year on a Crux. I had nearly the same times, right? So was it fatigue? Was I getting more tired on the Crux? Was I faster on the Crux but getting beat up more? Was the Diverge actually faster because the way that it handled and the way that it really tackled the terrain helped me work, more efficiently, right? So it really began to flip my switch on, is weight a big factor? And I don't think it is. Just like the argument, now don't take the full suspension aspect of this argument, but just like we argued with mountain bikes when we introduced full suspension. Hardtail is faster, it's lighter across the board. But as soon as we could debunk that actual time of a trail or a race or whatever was faster with full suspension, the weight argument went out the door. Didn't matter. And I think that's now where we've arrived with this bike. The Diverge STR is heavier, right? It's heavier than a Diverge with just the front future shock, and it's heavier than a Crux, but it's faster. I know you guys want some tech, so let's throw out a little bit of tech, okay? The front end of the future shock, 20 millimeters of overall compliance. The rear end, 30 millimeters. Okay, now it doesn't compress this way, doesn't change your pedaling, doesn't make it less efficient. It's a lever type action, and it works on a pull shock. And so a traditional rear suspension bike is a push shock. It pushes to compress. This pulls apart to control the damping effect on the bike. It has 3 levels of stiffness, right? So almost like on a mountain bike with that climb, trail, descend mode. So you can adjust it for those long climbs, get rid of that pedal bob, make it more efficient. It also has adjustable rebound, something that's not been done before on the front future shock. So the adjustable rebound speed and the adjustable frame post compression that is all tunable through the rider or their local bike shop really need to be matched up to make the bike the maximum performing capability for you, the rider. For the first time ever in the gravel world or in the road bike world, in any drop handlebar world, you need to be working with your local bike shop, or at least tackling it yourself and understanding where you're adjusting the frame post to work for you and your rebound speed to work for you. Make the bike super smooth, not too much, not too fast of a rebound, so that you then get that pogo effect. So all of these come together to really maximize the way the bike rides. Now, if you're exclusively a drop handlebar bike rider, roadie, gravel cross, we've never had to do that, right? So there's a little bit of a learning curve there. All right, so we've talked about some tech, we've talked about what it's not, who it's for, all the above. My final thoughts. I think that this bike is killer. I've changed my mind on the weight argument. I'm beginning to think that the longer these events go, or the longer that our rides go, right? Even if you're not a competitor or a registrant at an event, right? We're still competing with ourselves. We're still riding long days. And we seem to be getting longer and longer with that. So the longer that these go, the more we need to use tools at our disposal and technology to ride faster with more comfort, less fatigue over a long period of time. Riding all the different bikes that are out there, it gives me the opportunity to kind of understand it, to see it, to feel it, to know what I'm looking for. And I think that this is actually a really, really cool machine. I'm stoked. I would highly recommend, if you have the opportunity, if you are shopping around on a gravel bike, consider the Diverge STR. If you have the ability to go check it out at your shop, take it for a ride, understand it, see, feel it, kind of get it. I think it's fascinating. You don't need to be a racer. You ride long distance just for enjoyment. This is a bike for you. If you're looking to knock the edge off of all of these long, hard days in the saddle, this is the bike for you. And that's, I think, where 90% of folks are with riding these bikes and gravel bikes and all of that. Is we're going longer, we're getting deeper out there. It's getting tougher, right? So why not use tools at our disposal? It's gonna come around. It's new. It climbs really well. It climbs efficiently. It's fast. But on the chattery stuff, small chatter to really nasty chatter, it absolutely takes the edge off, and it's incredible what it can do. So check it out, ride it. I'm definitely going to be using this as a tool in my toolbox a lot more. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of a better understanding about who the bike's for, what it's all about. Decide for yourself. Check it out at your local bike shop. Got any questions? You see me at the events, come by, let me know what you think. Let me answer those questions, debunk more stuff. That's like my favorite thing to do. Hopefully this gave you enough dosage of tech and opinion. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna go ride this STR some more. Over and out.